You may remember 3 summers ago when Jack LaDuke told us about Bethany Garretson, a Paul Smith College professor and marathon hiker who set out to climb all 46 of the Adirondack High Peaks in record time. Well, this year, Bethany has set her sights on an even bigger challenge.
In 2016, Bethany Garretson set out to climb the 46 highest peaks in the Adirondacks in 8 days, setting a record. She would do it alone and unsupported. That same summer of August 2016 saw temperatures shoot to a sweltering 90-plus degrees. With excessive dehydrating heat, Garretson listened to her body's warning, ending her quest. A short time later, she set her eyes on climbing Mount Aconcagua, Argentina's highest peak, and one of the 7 summits, the highest peaks in 7 continents. A climb team was organized, and off they went to South America.
My goal was to go have an adventure. Summits aren't always guaranteed, but of course you aim for that. So the summit, an adventure, and then I was also collecting climate stories from locals and talking to people who have been on the mountain about what changes they're seeing in the climate of Argentina and the Andes.
Her climbing team met in Argentina. There were 7 Americans, ranging in age from 13 to 64 years old. Garretson said that their chemistry was good from the start.
We felt that we were strong together, that we were doing well, and we were doing really well. We were concerned at base camp because the weather reports coming in showed that there were really high gusts on the summit, like a week of 70-mile-per-hour winds, which you can't summit.
They didn't want to waste all their energy in bad climbing weather, but hopeful for a break in the weather.
A lot of the conversation was us just getting to know one another too, like learning about each other's lives, what jobs we did, things like that. And but on the mountain, it breaks down to very much day to day. Like we have to accomplish this task to get to here tomorrow.
Kathy Dove sits in the summit of positions at Paul Smith College. She's the president. Dove likes climbing Adirondack peaks and more.
I was talking to Bethany Garretson, one of our amazing faculty, and she had a couple years ago launched an effort called Climate for Climate. And those 2 concepts converged for me. The opportunity to really learn a little bit more about climate change. She was already planning to climb the highest peak in South America. And I thought, if I can contribute to this effort, raise awareness, learn a little bit more, raise some money for our students who are studying and raising and researching these kinds of activities, that's a win-win.
As well as climbing many Adirondack peaks, President Dove laced up her hiking boots last year and climbed Africa's 9,341-foot-high Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. Back in Argentina, on Mount Aconcagua, Garretson's team saw a break in the weather and began to climb.
Things were going very well. We were doing great. Weather was holding, and then on the 24th of February, we were probably 2 days away from summiting. We were around 20,000 feet, and one of our team members got really sick, and we had to get him off the mountain.
High altitudes can do strange things to the human body. The team knew that getting the sick man to a lower altitude was necessary.
You think about him and his safety and his health, and when it was obvious to all of us that he needed to get off the mountain, I think you kind of just like go into go mode. And I was concerned, I was worried. At that altitude, it could be so many things. So he was presenting as he couldn't feel his arm, his legs. He was having tingling sensation. His face was drooping. So it looks like a stroke symptom, or something that happens at high altitude too is HACE, so cerebral edema, where the brain is swelling, and that's fatal at high altitude. And the only way to really cure it is to get to lower altitude.
It was agreed that the only cure was to get him off the mountain as quickly as possible.
Luckily, we were really blessed to have a team next to us, a British Army team that helped us evac him.
Garretson said that a dozen people helped in the evacuation. A helicopter airlifted him to a hospital in the city of Mendoza. He later had a full recovery.
I think by the time we got down to, we were just pretty spent emotionally and mentally, and physically it's probably not the best thing to go back up. So it was pretty quickly decided that we were done, and it wasn't a hard decision to make. It's like someone's life, a summit. Someone's life is so much more important.
Garretson said that summiting was not a disappointment. She said that going into a climb, summiting is never a guarantee.
But I learned that, just the effects of altitude on the body, you have to slow down, you have to take more care for yourself and make sure you're hydrating and eating and all these things that I know in the backcountry here in the Adirondacks, but it's just it's so much more important at high altitude.
She also learned to reduce your hiking load to give you that extra breath of air that could put you on the summit of a high-altitude mountain where the air is thin. In December, she will lead a team of Paul Smith students up Africa's Mount Kilimanjaro, passing on her mountain climbing knowledge to a younger team. For Mountain Lake Journal, I'm Jack LaDuke at Paul Smith College.